Mấy giờ phải chừng luôn luôn.
There too.
I just remember like.
Oh, let me tell you that.
But they have like I didn't go to Hollywood.
There's a bunch of different. There's a bunch of those blocks there.
No. Get a nicer toilet too. Paintings and a cigar sitting there, and you love to smoke. You would just think that they would take those liberties away from him.
Some both at the same time, or like.
Thanks.
You going to Justin's party this weekend?
I don't know, probably not.
Lit. Tom just days up.
do like access.
Yeah, I have enough to do.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ces cellules?
Will be stopped. This nation must make an all-out effort to combat crime. The United Congress will continue to charge in the attack on crime by passing the law enforcement.
So you can come.
Hey folks, how you doing? The name's Gary, I'm gonna be the tour guide. This tour will take about 10 minutes. Very informal, this is the dining hall area. I do have to watch this behind us. The museum doesn't allow folks to wander in and out of here unaccompanied, I think because beyond those railings down the hallway, it's unsafe. So, if you have any questions, let me know. So, I see a lot of you have the audio guide, so you probably already learned how this place was founded from the concept of solitary confinement, which meant, among other things, that everybody ate in their own cell here for decades. The problem was that by the 1920s, you had over 1,400 prisoners here, and everybody was still eating in their own cell. It took forever to feed everybody. The penitentiary officials realized they had to make a change, build a common dining area. So they didn't have a lot of room to work with, but they had this section back here. So this is where they chose to build the dining halls. Now, the way they decided to put it into effect was, they decided they're going to feed the prisoners here 700 in a shift, 3 meals a day. Pretty small area to get 700 guys in one time. And there's only 2 ways in, this door and this door. So at the beginning of the first meal shift, for example, you'd have a few hundred guys lined up here, prisoners, a few hundred prisoners lined up here, and the lines would extend back in the cellblocks area, and they would stream in and they would form 2 lines. And they would walk down this narrow hallway. You can follow me. Now, when you have 700 folks this close together, you're going to need some security close by. This was the guard hut right here. So you would have guards close by, keeping an eye on these guys. So I'll move up a little bit. So these are the 2 main serving counters. The folks in this line would have been served by the food servers over here on this side of the counter, the folks in this side by the folks on that side of the counter. And it opens in 1924. In the 1920s, this is what it looks like. There's 2 gentlemen in the front are the food servers. They're ladling out the food. The prisoners are streaming through here. They're putting it in plates, on trays for the guys, handing them to them. Now, a couple interesting things about this. First of all, these 2 guys here are both prisoners. But in the 1920s, a lot of prisoners here were actually working at jobs within the penitentiary while they're serving their sentences. And everybody's getting paid. Now, back in the 1920s, everybody's making pretty much less than $1 a day. But the penitentiary puts in place a wage scale. Some of the guys are working in the hospital, some in the library, some in the laundry, some here. And on the wage scale, what they determine is the food servers are going to be the lowest paid workers. And the penitentiary officials also say they're only going to the black prisoners. Because this place, pretty much, there was always racism here. If you might not be aware, this place was not even integrated until the 1960s. Up to then, you had black folks in their own cells, cell blocks, white folks in their own cell blocks. The other thing I wanted to point out are these doorways here. There's 2 over here, 3 over there. On the other side of them are jail cells. This area in here used to be where they had the individual exercise yards. You probably learned that on your tour. That white vertical stripe there between those 2 doorways is where the 12-foot wall would have been that would have separated this guy's yard from this guy's yard. When solitary confinement goes away, they don't have a need for these anymore. They tear most of them down. That's how they end up with enough room to build this.
I have a question. Was this the kitchen as well?
No, the kitchen's in the back.
Okay.
We're not going to be able to walk back there because it's not safe, but I'll point it out to you. So we're going to move up some. So up here, there's smaller serving counters. This is where they would have served items like spaghetti sauce for your spaghetti, hamburgers. And then the folks in this line would have gone into this dining hall, folks in this line and that one. Now that's not accessible now, they're doing some work in there. But we can kind of get groups in and out to just take a look at it. You can't walk down because of all the debris, but when you go in, look how long and narrow this dining hall is.
Whatever space they have left, right?
All the way down. Well, one was a little longer than the other, so it was more like about 310, 390. So I wanted folks to get a look at that because these were not necessarily safe spaces. This is what it looked like when it was operational. You'll see the long steel tables running parallel with the wall, one narrow walkway where you can walk to between the tables. These weren't safe because, first of all, in Philadelphie in the summer, if you've been here the last week or so, these buildings get like ovens. You pack a few hundred guys in here, some of them don't get along with each other, not necessarily safe. Especially if there's a problem way down at the end. So they would have put some guards in there, but they couldn't always stop the trouble if it developed. But on a more positive note, this is what the dining halls look like at Christmas time. Christmas and Christianity were always a big deal here. In the 1900s, every cell block had a Christmas tree in it. In the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, that center area we just left to come in here, at Christmas time, there'd be a group of prisoners singing Christmas carols. Their singing was actually being broadcast over the local radio station in Philadelphia and the surrounding community. They'd actually put ads in the local newspaper about when their concerts would be so people could tune in and listen. That's Christianity and Christmas got pushed so much here. That's why there's a synagogue here. In the 1880s, the Jewish population in Philadelphia was getting concerned that the Jewish prisoners here weren't being exposed to their religion. They built a synagogue in the 1920s. This is the first prison in America to have a synagogue. Any questions so far? So in terms of the food preparation, unlike most state prisons today where the food is prepared off-site by a subcontractor, it's frozen and trucked in, all the food here was prepared here. So we can't go back there because it's not safe. That chimney leads to a large bakery. If you move back a little bit, you'll see a sphere that leads down to a black roof. That's where the kitchen was. So all the food's prepared back there. By the way, this room here contained, among other things, that's an old industrial dishwasher there. So the food is prepared, wheeled in by food cart through the corridor to the respective serving areas. And most of the food that is served here is grown in a nearby prison. In the 1920s, Pennsylvania opens another state prison an hour from here in the town of Graterford, Pennsylvania. They call it the New Eastern State because it was supposed to replace Eastern State, even though that didn't happen for another 50 years. However, for quite some time, they ran both institutions as one, even though they were an hour apart. We know initially the warden here also served concurrently as the warden up there. Now, the prison in Graterford was built in the middle of farmland. So a lot of the prisoners during the summer would work in the farms, and in the fall harvest the crops and then a lot of the food was sent down here for these guys to eat, so it kept the cost of the food low. And in terms of the menu here, these guys ate pretty well, especially as we're getting into like the 1930s, 40s, 50s. This is a menu for a week's worth of meals here for the week ending April 17th, 1949. Monday through Sunday. So you get 3 meals a day: breakfast, dinner, and supper. Dinner is the midday meal, the biggest meal of the day. Every meal is different in terms of what you're given. For example, dinner on Monday: roast beef, gravy, roast potatoes, string beans, beets, and bread. That's a pretty good meal. These folks are eating better than the poor folks living in Philadelphia. But the number one thing on the menu, first thing Monday morning, was fried scrapple. Does anybody here know what that is?
Doesn't sound good.
You do.
Delicacy.
It is a delicacy. What is it?
Yeah, what is?
Putting it kindly, it's pig byproducts. No, wait. So I say it's the best ever. My wife says it's the best never. I mean, you either pretty much love it or you hate it. If you go to almost any restaurant or diner in Philadelphia, you can get it as a side order for breakfast. They serve it in squares about this big, this thick. It's a little bit spicy. But it's been popular in Philadelphia for well over 100 years. You probably heard somewhere along the way of New York City being referred to as the Big Apple. My dad grew up around here during the Great Depression in the 1930s. He said back then they called Philadelphia the Big Scrapple. No. Don't. You gotta give it a chance. Anybody have any questions? Or not? Yes?
I still have no idea what the scrap.
Yeah, you gotta try it.
Your next stop after this is to a restaurant.
All right.
Try it before you know it.
Not by the
Cruise
sound
restaurant.
of, not by the sound of that.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. But, all right, so we're gonna head out. Whoever wants to join me down at the Catholic Chaplain's office, just stay with me. We're headed back this way.
So you can just try some.
No, not that, of course. It's a pencil thing.
His brother.
I still have no idea what
Il va à l'hôpital là? Il a duré de la visite? Non, moi non. Toi tu y vas? Ça peut. C'est des infirmeries quoi. C'est ça qu'ils appellent l'hôpital. Thank you.
You're well, if you want,
C'est pour les nains? ces petites portes là.
Oh, there it is. Mais je comprends pas qu'il laisse pas les portes ouvertes. Non, il y en a qui sont ouvertes tantôt. C'est juste qu'il est pas. Ah! Moi, j'ai fini.
Ouais, moi aussi.
Moi aussi, j'ai fini. Là, c'est 3.
Pas tout de suite, pas tout de suite.
All my friends are going.
T'es obligé de bombarder, toi. On ouvre. Bah, va.
What you gonna do?